Friends, welcome to online worship with Beverly Unitarian Church. My name is David Schwartz. I serve as minister here with Beverly Unitarian, and it is a pleasure to be with you electronically this morning. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation of children, youth, adults. We're a people of many races, a people of many different beliefs, many genders, many sexual orientations, many abilities and educations and incomes and traditions. Here, we celebrate a diversity of belief. We strive always to make space for more. This is who we are. Whatever your past or your present is like, we invite you to walk into the future with us. Like other Unitarian Universalist congregations, what binds us together is not a shared, precise, exact, dogmatic theology. Instead, what unites us are 7 principles and a shared mission to grow our spirits and to help heal the world, and to do that in community with each other. We especially welcome visitors, and if you are joining us for the very first time, I hope you'll stay for virtual coffee hour afterwards on Zoom. At the end of the worship service, you'll see the link, the one-time link just for this Sunday, to join coffee hour. I hope you'll stick around. Come chat. We are a friendly bunch. When we gather in person, we gather literally in the converted living room of an old mansion. And one of my very favorite things about this congregation is the way that, just like the best of your auntie's living room, you get welcomed in and fed and chatted with. Come join us for coffee hour afterwards. And we look forward to the day we'll be able to meet you in person. We're going to start off the service today singing. This online format lets us take advantage of musicians we might not otherwise get to see here in Chicago. First, we'll hear from Mark David Buckles, who's going to lead us in singing and learning a new version of Bright Morning Stars. Then we'll hear from Cantor David Berger, a friend and colleague at the KAM Isaiah Israel Synagogue in Hyde Park. And I am delighted to share with you this morning the work of guest musician Liam Morris. In the comments, you'll see a link to her website and YouTube channel. Her stuff is so great, and I'm delighted that you get a chance to explore it afterwards. Will you join me now in entering the service and singing together?
Hi everybody, my name is Mark David Buckles, and I'm going to be sharing the song Bright Morning Star with you. I hope you'll sing it with me. Some of you might be familiar with the song in the Unitarian Universalist hymnal, Bright Morning Stars. My understanding is that the song originally was Bright Morning Star, about our sun. Bright Morning Star is arising, or Bright Morning Stars arising. This is also a different melody from maybe the one you've heard. It's, in my understanding, an old Appalachian melody. And it's got some additional verses written by my friend and colleague Matt Meyer. So here's how the song goes. Bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising. Day is a breaking in my soul. So I'm going to line that out for you. I'll sing one line, invite you to sing it back with me. Bright morning stars arising, your turn. Bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Day is a breaking. Day is a breaking in my soul. So let's try that whole thing together. Bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising, bright morning stars arising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Let's try try that one more time. Bright morning. Bright morning stars arising. Bright morning stars arising. Bright morning stars arising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Rise up from morning slumber. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. Rise up and hear your calling. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. Oh, lift your voice to heaven. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. We'll sing out loud for justice. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. We'll build this faith together. 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 Day is a breaking in my soul. Bright morning star, bright morning star arising. Bright morning stars arising. Bright morning stars arising. Day is a breaking in my soul. One more time, bright morning stars arising. Bright morning stars arising. Bright morning stars arising. Day is a breaking in my soul. Day is a breaking. Day is a breaking in my soul. Day is a breaking. Day is a breaking in my soul. One more time. Day is a breaking in my soul.
Let me invite you to get a chalice, a candle, a flashlight if a candle's not handy, a phone light if you don't have that, something that makes illumination. And join me in lighting the chalice. Our words are the chorus from A Cure at Troy by Seamus Heaney, the poet, translating lines 2,000 years old, adapting them. Human beings suffer. They torture one another. They get hurt and get hard. No poem or play or song can fully right a wrong inflicted and endured. The innocent in jails beat on their bars together. A hunger striker's father stands in a graveyard, dumb. The police widow in veils faints at the funeral home. History says, don't hope on this side of the grave. But then, once in a lifetime, the longed-for tidal wave of justice can rise up, and hope and history rhyme. So hope for a great sea change on the far side of revenge. Believe that further shore is reachable from here. Believe in miracles and cures and healing wells. Call miracle self-healing, the utter self-revealing double take of feeling. If there's fire on the mountain, or lightning and storm, and a God speaks from the sky, that means someone is hearing the outcry and birth cry of new life at its term. Friends, will you join me in the words of our covenant, the commitment that we make to each other about what it is we're doing here, why we gather, who we're becoming and who we are. Love, is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. I invite you to warmly greet those who have gathered today in the chat, remembering it's public. Say hello. Welcome.
I'm listening. I am listening. Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening. I am listening. Spirit, speak to me. My ears are wide open. My eyes are now open to see what I may be. I'm listening. I am listening. Spirit, speak to me. I'm listening. I am listening. In this moment of Spirit, speaks through me. I can hear the voices of all my kind. I'm listening, singing. I am listening, this tweeting and howling into the wind. My ears are wide open, and oh, the joy. My eyes are wide open, oh, the love to see and what hear for you and me. Oh, I'm listening in this moment of silence. I am listening. I hear Spirit speak through me.
Come on, buddy. Come read a story. Yeah. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh, yeah, you're gonna come sit on my... Oh, yeah. Oh, he's not a small dog. Hey, Pi, you wanna read this? This is really, really good. It's called Not My Idea, a book about whiteness. A fifth grader hears her mom watching the news and saying, "Oh no, not again." In sadness and anger, "What?" she asked. "Mom, what? Not again? Who is that black man with their hands up? Why is that white policeman screaming at him?" And Mom says, "You don't need to worry about this. You're safe. Understand? Our family's kind to everyone. We don't see color." When grown-ups try to hide scary things from kids, it's usually because they're scared too. They want to bury the truth. We don't see color. But deep down, we all know color matters. Skin color makes a difference in how the world sees you and in how you see the world. It makes a difference in how much trouble seems to find you or how much trouble seems to let you be. In stores, in cars, on sidewalks, at school, your skin color affects the most ordinary daily experiences, including which neighborhood welcomes you. You may get the message that racism is happening only to black and brown people. Racism is a white person's problem, and we're all caught up in it, mostly by refusing to look at it. You can face this. Understanding the truth takes courage, especially a painful truth about your own people, your own family. Even people you love may behave in ways that show they think they are the good ones. Racism was not your idea. You don't need to defend it. You can bring your curiosity to learn about it and see that it's true. In the United States of America, white people have committed outrageous crimes against black people for 400 years. And all along every step of the way, people who love justice and love each other have been fighting back. Many white people did things they never should have done. Denied opportunity, denied housing, denied voting rights. Many other white people failed to see the problem with this. These choices put wealth and power into white hands, homes, neighborhoods. Some white people joined the leaders of black liberation, which means love and freedom. Racism is still happening. It keeps changing, and it keeps being the same. And yet, just being here, alive in this moment, you have a chance to care about this, to connect. But connecting means opening. And sometimes opening feels like breaking. A fifth grader hears her mom watching the news and saying, "Oh no, not again," in sadness and anger over a police shooting of an unarmed black man. And her mom says, "We don't need to worry about this. We love everyone. We don't see color." But the girl says, "I do see color. I see yours, mine, everybody's. You can't hide what's right in front of me. Why didn't anyone teach me real history? I know what's happening is wrong." Racial justice is possible, but only if we are honest with each other and ourselves. Your history is not all written yet. What do you want it to say?
Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace, of peace. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace, of peace. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace, of peace. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument. Make me an instrument of peace, of peace.
Will you join me in a spirit of prayer and meditation? Will you take a breath with me? And another. Spirit of life and love, known by many names, called in many ways. Spirit of hope, Spirit of commitment, be present to us this morning. In our hearts, in our lives, are all the ones we worry over. The people sick now and those caring for them, the people in the midst of financial uncertainty, the parents and the children, the ones struggling through isolation. Our hope and our prayer this morning first is to let go of the need to do all of this by ourselves, to let go of the need to control it all, to remember that we are little pieces in an unimaginably vast world. Our prayer first is to remember that we're just one, but that we don't have to be only one alone. Our hope is to remember how we give our lives into each other's keeping, to remember how we can be carried by each other when things seem too difficult on our own. Our hope and our prayer is to remember that our work in this world is going to last our whole lifetime, and we need to pace ourselves. Our hope this morning is to let go of the idea that we have to be perpetually strong, perpetually brave, perpetually courageous. We're all in it together so that we don't have to carry it all on our own. We remember this morning that an old world and an old way of living is passing away before us. We offer a prayer of hope that we do not forget what protest and pandemic make plain, that the inequities of the world, that the injustice of this world is a choice, not an inevitability. And our hope and our prayer this morning is to be a people who make a different choice and shape the world. Amen. Each week in our services, we light candles of joy and of sorrow. We share our lives with each other. I invite you in the chat to put in the name of anyone you want to lift up in the love of this community, to put in the thing that is bringing you joy and refilling your bucket this week. Put in whatever it is that is dragging you down. Put in what you worry over. Put in what you hope for. Share those joys and sorrows with each other, or just put in I as if in person you are raising two fingers, that we'd light a candle in silence. I invite you to share that with each other now.
When I rise, I will rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, I will fall like a leaf, gracefully. When I rise, I will rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, I will fall like a leaf, gracefully. When I rise, I will rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, I will fall like a leaf, gracefully.
His mother was a devout Catholic. His father was agnostic. He, at age 10, became an acolyte at St. Martin's Catholic Church. It was 1890. In the years that followed, he became disillusioned. His priest was a cynic. And at 18, in Vienna, apprenticed to his uncle, a successful tailor. Norbert discovered the Baptists. He became a minister. He founded almost a dozen churches, from Ukraine to Budapest. Yet slowly, his faith became more and more liberal. He left Bohemia under government threat. He accepted a call to serve a Baptist church in New York City. That was until one day in 1919. On that day, he wrote in his diary, "I cannot be a Baptist anymore, even in compromise. The fire of new desires, new worlds, is burning inside me." Norbert and his wife Maya Čapek joined a Unitarian church in New Jersey in 1921. For the same reason a whole lot of you sought out a Unitarian church. Their children liked the religious education program. That's the power of Sunday school. World War I ended, and his home country now independent, he and Maya returned home to Czechoslovakia. His Unitarian church there was the Prague Liberal Religious Fellowship. In just 20 years, it grew to 3,200 members. And the traditional Christian communion service, bread and wine, wouldn't meet the needs of his congregation because his church, like ours, had people who believed different things, Christians and non-Christians alike. Čapek turned to the beauty of the countryside, to the beauty of flowers. And in 1923, he developed the flower ceremony. He asked his congregants to bring a flower to church from their gardens, the field, the roadside. Each person put their flower in a vase, and there in front was the church community, unique and united, both at once. Following the service, each person took a flower from the vase, a different one than they had brought, each returning home blessed by someone else's beauty. Čapek's church was a church that was willing to take risks. It was a church willing to make tough decisions and bear disappointments and be bold and then be even bolder. That's our church too. That was Čapek's church, called to practice the three prophetic tasks of every liberal church: realism in the face of ideology, and grief when the world is in denial, and hope when the world is in despair. That's our work too: realism, grief, and hope. For this, the Gestapo arrested him in 1942. Nazis accused Čapek of listening to foreign broadcasts. They accused him of high treason and used his sermons as evidence of that crime. He was sent to Dachau concentration camp. And even in starvation and torture, he held a flower ceremony for his fellow prisoners, finding whatever they could among the weeds in the camp. They testified there to a beauty larger than themselves, to a love that would outlive them. Čapek wrote, "It's worthwhile to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals." He said, "Blow ye evil winds into my body's fire, my soul you'll never unravel. Even though disappointed 1,000 times or fallen in the fight, and everything would worthless seem, I have lived amidst eternity. Be grateful, my soul. My life was worth living." The Nazis killed Norbert Čapek, but his spirit, his courage, his commitment live on today. They've passed to us now, to make real, to be visible. Ours now is the responsibility to stand fast in the liberty and with the liberation for which he died. His wife Maya brought the flower ceremony to the Unitarian Church in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1940. And 6 years later, the minister of that church brought it with him to Chicago when he came to serve in this city. When we gather in person and share flowers in the service, it isn't because we're historical reenactors of something over and done with. This ritual is an affirmation of our continuity, our participation with the generations of struggle for an ever-widening liberty. The flower ceremony, lovely though it is, isn't a diversion from ugly reality. It is a gentle fierceness which proclaims that in the midst of dark days there is always beauty, and in the midst of isolation there is always solidarity. To participate in the flower ceremony isn't to recall something over and done with, but to participate in something that is still happening right now, right here. It's to remember, to put it back together again, that in the remembering of this story, we put ourselves back together again, each as a part of the body of this community, out of many, one. The flowers growing in our community right now are hand-painted signs, stenciled signs, printed signs, window signs, electronic signs. The flowers growing in yards right now are signs that proclaim unity, one love, signs which declare Black Lives Matter. These signs, these flowers, are a testimony to a beauty larger than any of us. They're a faithfulness to a love that will outlive us. They declare that we will remember and we will recommit ourselves to the liberty and the liberation for which so many have died. In a voice of solemnity and joy, these flowers call us back to ourselves again, back to the lives we share, the hope we share, the breath we share. This beauty doesn't just comfort us, it commissions us for the work ahead. This beauty does not pacify us, but proclaims a hope which is ours to make real. A flower, a sign, a slogan is a symbol only, not a substitute for reform, not a replacement for change that will and must come. Political, economic, legislative, a flower, a sign, a slogan is a symbol. But we know that symbols change who we are when they remind us who we are called to be, when they remind us who we are, to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals. Amen.
So like a ship lost out to sea, sliding far away from me. So like a ship that's run aground, grinding over sand, lost but also found. Please bring me back, please bring me back to myself. Please bring me back, please bring me back to myself. So like a kitten in a well, paddling for my life, sorry that I fell. If I go still and at the end, pour it on my head, make me rise again. Please bring me back, please bring me back to myself. Please bring me back, please bring me back to myself. Please